Welcome back, everyone, to the Daily Dollar Podcast. I'm your host, Kate McCready, and I'm here with
Arthur George Morrison III.
Gotta love when he does that. Today, we are talking about what is syndication.
Syndication, otherwise known as private syndication, otherwise known as, if you want to simplify, right, OPM. Mm-hmm. But syndication, the way I described it on Instagram in a Twitter carousel, the way I described it was like being the maestro of your orchestra in real estate, right?
Wow.
So the definition of, and my phone's being used to record, so I can't look it up, but the definition of a maestro is a musician of the highest designation and experience.
Okay.
And the reason why I use this example is because, maestro, and I use the Bugs Bunny, the famous Bugs Bunny skit. I guess not a skit. I don't know what you would call it, episodes or whatever, where he's the maestro and someone keeps coughing or whatever. Mm-hmm. But if you notice, all they have is that little stick. And with that stick, they're keeping the rhythm of the whole orchestra.
Yeah.
Or in our case, syndication. They're controlling everything. And everyone listens to what the hell they got to say because he's the maestro.
Yeah.
Or she. And then on top of that, everyone is looking at that person. They're not looking at the trumpets. They're not looking at anything except the maestro. He's up there waving the stick. Might have some dancers or something, but he's literally on the highest level. Actual physically standing up higher than everyone. So
I'm going to give you props. You are so good at analogies. That's like your strong point. Analogies are your thing.
God over here.
Yeah.
No, so the reason why I use this analogy though is because in real estate, if you position yourself of the highest designation and experience, aka you put the time in to learn, you put the time in to actually implement the strategies. Mm-hmm. Once you develop a name for yourself there, you can begin to build a team to where you don't, just like the maestro, you actually don't play any music. We don't touch a hammer. Yeah. We don't touch our own dollars. We don't pull any titles. We don't do any loans. Just for the sake of keeping money, Kate has her real estate license, so she makes a commission on all of our sales and acquisitions. That's like kind of a no-brainer. And honestly, the other pieces are a no-brainer as well. But when you're talking about scaling, eventually she can't do that because we're going to need her to do some of the higher level stuff. And when you're at that high level and you're controlling all of the pieces and putting the pieces together, that's when you become a syndicator or when you have created a successful syndication. So everyone might know that I play the drums really well. Mm-hmm. I play the trumpet really well. I'm a violinist. Everyone knows I can do those things by myself. It's literally not a secret. But I leverage that talent and the fact that everybody knows that to get the best talent and make the same sound that I wanted to make without touching any of it, right? Yeah. As a maestro. So that's how I describe syndication. It's one of my favorite things because you're actually objectively really a boss.
Yeah.
Like you're actually a boss. The orchestra don't go without you.
Right.
Right? These deals don't go without you. It doesn't matter how you found the property. It doesn't matter how you found the money. You put it all. You are the glue. You are the plug. You are the connect. So when you put yourself in that position, the term syndication or private syndication came about. It had to be given a title because it's almost that much more impressive.
Yeah.
And it's the way you do real estate while scaling. A lot of people don't really talk about it. We talk about house flipping, wholesaling, house hacking, buying a multi-unit, right? But this is another level because you can, once you become successful at syndication, you can do it 1,000,000 times over at the same time.
Right.
With, no real difference, just more money. The only difference is that you'd be responsible for more. But if you're very good at designating roles and managing, I can't even say managing people because you don't have to manage people if you put someone in place to manage it. So by understanding all the roles and all of the and being intentional about not being in the weeds at all and just scaling it, that's how you really own a real estate business and not run a real estate business.
I have the worst analogies. That was such a good analogy. Mine are terrible.
What was your analogy? Just humor us.
Mob boss or puppeteer.
A puppeteer.
But that's almost degrading to say puppeteer, it's.
Yeah, and then
but you are controlling.
But puppeteer, you're still working.
Yeah.
Like puppeteer requires talent.
Yeah.
Because that's not a terrible analogy, but it's like those puppets are still you. They're only an
Yeah.
extension of you. With
That's true.
syndication, is like I'm not doing anything. I'm just making sure everything goes according to rhythm.
Yeah.
With a stick, the stick does not make sound. That's the crazy thing. But you're making the sound, and you're getting all the credit for making the sound. You're the one who takes the bow at the end.
So, okay, in order to be this master syndicator,
Mm-hmm.
what like are some attributes that you have to have? Like,
You have to be a great communicator.
okay,
You have to be very organized and good at creating processes.
okay,
Because I know some people who syndicate, but they only can do 2 or 3 properties at a time
Yeah.
because they do everything like this. Everything over the phone.
yeah,
Everything talking to you for, hey, I need you to do this. Hey, do that. And it's like, bro, that's not syndicating, that's managing. You're just a manager. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, me as a syndicator, I'll hire you as a manager and give you a cut of the deal since you want to talk to everybody, right? And
Right.
not write anything down and
Yeah.
not give actual processes. So that's like, I would say those 2 things, communicating, processes, definitely knowledge.
of course.
Knowledge
Yeah.
/ respect. Because the people who are working within your system, first of all, they're going to respect you because you're paying them. And you have the leverage because you put it together.
Right.
But it really does help when they know that you can do that whole thing with or without them. That's like where the respect comes.
Yeah.
So like for us, when we first got started, I started syndicating from the rip. Like,
Yeah.
first, second deal, I'm syndicating. I skipped all of like the steps of being a realtor, being a wholesaler, whatever. Immediately started syndicating. And the trouble that we had was that the people that I was dealing with knew that. So that respect wasn't there like it is now. To where
Yeah.
now, like, you got to talk to me a certain kind of way because I'm the guy. I got the properties. I got the money. I got the team. I got the connections.
Yeah.
I'm the guy. You got to talk to me a certain type of way to whereas I'm like kind of piecing it together and you see that.
Yeah.
Right? So that brings me to the next one after knowledge and respect is experience. Right? Like me coming in now saying we're 15 properties in, there's not many people that are going to say no. There's not many lenders. There's not many there's not a lot of people who are going to say no to jumping into our system. How many
Gotcha.
contractors have we met that are like, yeah, I'm great with my hands. I'm good at this and that, but I'm not good with business. I'm not good with systems. They don't know.
Yeah.
So if you're like, okay, I'm going to put you in a system where you're always going to have a job.
Yeah.
Like meaning like not a job, but like you're always going to have work. You're always going to have projects.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to market and look for projects.
Yeah.
Contractors are going to be like, hell yeah, I'm in. How many people do you know that like money? Everybody. So how many people do you know that like money, have a job, but don't know any other way to make money? All right, so now as a syndicator, I'm going to those people like, hey, I can take some of your money and compound it
Yeah.
in my syndication system. Not a lot of people are saying no, right? So
Right.
then that's how you get capital, and then it just goes on and on and on. And now you create this system to where you can sit here and record podcasts while 8 of your houses are being flipped.
This might be one of our best episodes ever.
Really? Because it was a whole lot of me just rambling. Again.
Well, I mean, syndication is just, I feel like it's not talked about as much. We talk about like specific strategies. Like you said this in the beginning. We talk about specific strategies
Yeah.
and how you can implement those strategies or execute those strategies rather.
Well,
but
everyone tries to dumb it down to make everyone feel okay. You can do it. So like, house hack with a roommate
yeah,
and like, yo, that's syndication.
right.
So instead of house hacking with a roommate and co-signing and doing it the ghetto way, like syndicate some real estate. But if I want to sell a course, I can't say getting a credit partner and a capital partner, or this being the same one, will allow you to house hack, right, without any of your own credit and right? Like that's so much more attractive to just say you and a friend can co-sign on a loan and borrow
Yeah.
the money from your parents, and then you live for free and your parents get rent. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that's so much easier to say and attractive because everyone's like, I have parents. I have a roommate.
Yeah.
But if you say, hey, here's this strategy of private syndication where it just sounds so high level and it
Right.
doesn't sound obtainable, I might not pay $500 for a course that's teaching me that if I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So like that's why you don't really hear people talking about it because it doesn't behoove people. It doesn't really make you money to talk about this next level of real estate. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because there's levels to syndication too. So obviously you have REITs, right? Real estate investment trusts. You have crowd funds. You have private equity. You can do it with friends and family privately. There's no no frowning on that. But there's so many. There's different levels. Is my point, right? Like we're kind of here at the friends and family private equity level. We aspire to go Reg D, right? I have my older brother has a Reg A fund. So like, and then there's tiers, Reg A, Tier 1, Tier 2. There's just it's all there's levels to private syndication. So by understanding that model, you set way different goals than wholesaling or house hacking with a buddy. And even that private syndication, anyone can do it, but it starts with that knowledge and experience. That's what makes the maestro the maestro.
Maestro. I like it.
Maestro.
Yeah.
So anywho,
That's good stuff.
do you have any other questions about syndication?
I could go on about syndication, but we are past time. So we'll talk about it again sometime on a higher level.
Definitely do another episode of private syndication. It's one of my favorite things ever. Like when I heard about it, I just wanted to do it. I mean, we literally skipped all the other strategies.
Right.
And jumped right into one of the highest levels of strategy. So I like it that much that I would put the business at risk.
Right.
To do the more complicated strategy.
That's a good way of putting it.
Right. Yeah, because the safe route would have been just wholesaling.
Right.
Like that would have been safer.
Like picking one strategy or one niche and just
or
going
just
hard
getting our
at that.
real estate license and becoming brokers.
Yeah.
Just make commissions.
Yeah. Which isn't wrong. That's a
we're
great
gonna do all
route
that
to
too.
go.
But we definitely,
Yeah.
So, but anywho, I'm Art Morrison III.
I'm Kate McCready.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode. Definitely was a very valuable episode. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We got YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, UnitedHomeRelief.com. Check it out. We have our online real estate course called the Real Estate Roadmap there, where we teach really in depth all these strategies that we talk about on this podcast. And I don't know, follow me on Instagram at Art Morrison III.
Follow me on Instagram, the Kate McCready.
Follow me more on Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram. You said that already, at United Home Relief.
Yeah.
Send us podcast topics, what you want to hear from us.
Topics, leave reviews, all that
5-star
good stuff, guys.
reviews.
Get engaged.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
All right. Catch you guys in the next episode.
See ya.